Hi, and welcome to Makeup Brushes Over 40. Yes, there is a difference for us gals over 40. There are different brushes that work better on our face and ones that don't work. So stay tuned, hear me out. I'm a 25-year pro and I promise I'm not gonna let you down, and you will walk away from this video today feeling pretty confident in what brushes you need. I also want to say, if this video helps or any of my past videos have really helped you, it would be a tremendous favor to me if you could subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Buckle up. This is going to be a great tutorial today. Hey, thanks for being here. This is my most requested topic in the past year, and I have put it off because brushes are a huge topic. But I thought, I'm a 25-year makeup pro, and I love to teach. So this is what I'm gonna do today. My name is Michelle Spieler. I'm Clean Beauty Babe, and over 25-year makeup veteran in the pro industry, even working in Hollywood since 2003. I still do TV, film, commercial, all the things. And I love to teach, especially women over 40. If you are under 40, welcome. This video is for anyone, but I'm specifically going to talk about how to use brushes if you are over 40 and you have more mature skin, you have a more mature under eye, maybe your eye's getting more hooded. This is for you, okay? I'm going to talk to you today as if you were in my makeup chair. If you notice anything about my videos, I am not super polished. I am not super edited. I don't have like a big old plain colored background. If I don't keep my YouTube videos simple and easy to edit, I'm not gonna do them. I just know myself, I'm too busy. I worked a 15-hour day Monday on a film. So I have to keep these simple. And so I have to talk to you as though you were in my makeup chair, because that's how I teach. I do really well one-on-one. I do well with an audience too, but I really do well one-on-one, okay? So I will time code this, because if you just wanna jump ahead to eye brushes, you can do so. We are gonna start with face. And just to let you know, I ordered a bunch of brushes from Crown Brush. I don't know if you've heard of Crown Brush, but they have been in the business for decades, and they make many other brands makeup brushes for them. But you can go directly to them. They're incredibly affordable, and we'll even talk about some well-known dupes in the industry. I use them not only on myself, but I also use them in my makeup kit. Here's the name Crown here. And I knew I was going to be doing this video, and so I thought, okay, let me reach out and see if they have an affiliate program. They did. So I will give you a code, because you will get 20% off. And these brushes are incredibly affordable. They hold up extremely well. And I have used Crown brushes for many years. I've also used many other brands, and we will talk about all the brands today that I can think of. But if you order through Crown Brush, you will get a 20% discount. I earn a really small commission, like 10%, but I mean, some of their brushes are $4 or $5. So I'm not here to stand to make a ton of money off of you, but I want to make it easy for you, and I want you to get a discount. So that's why I reached out to them. So this video is not sponsored, but by keeping in YouTube guidelines, I will put that it was sponsored, because I am going to be earning commission off of brushes that you buy from Crown. Now, if you buy brushes from MAC or Morphe or Real Techniques or It Cosmetics, any of the other brands, I am not going to put links. So take a screenshot. If I'm talking about a brush and you're like, ooh, I need that, hit pause and screenshot it on your phone if you can, because there's way too many brushes that I'm going to talk about today, and I cannot put it all in the description. But I will put the Crown brushes in the description, and I think that's probably it. I don't want to overwhelm anyone. And you can always reach out to me with questions. Don't ever be shy about that, because I'm pretty good at getting back to everybody in a timely manner, okay? And I thought it would be best for you to see how to use the makeup brushes as well. So we are going to start with face. let's pretend we just put on all of our, you know, sunscreen, all of our skincare, then our sunscreen, and now we're going to do some type of a foundation. I know a lot of women love foundation. I was looking at the Wayne Goss foundation brush because it looks divine, but it was sold out. So I started, that's what took me to Crown Brush. I started looking around, and so let me talk about a couple different foundation brushes, and I want to show you something. I got this on Amazon, and I love this in my bathroom. It's a makeup brush holder. Look, it comes with the pearls. It opens up. Look at, this is just my personal collection. This is just for eyes. And then I have one for face. And I love it. I absolutely love this. I don't even know what they were each. I really don't remember. I bought them a long time ago on Amazon. And then I also have all of my professional brushes, and this is what I take on every single job. This is face. And then these are eyes and lips and some cheek. So you can see I'm pretty well versed in brushes, and I know what I like and I know what I use myself. And sometimes brushes I love to use on my clients in my chair is completely different from what I love to use on myself, okay? So let's start. When we are doing foundation on mature skin, we really want to buff it in. This is a brand new buffing brush I got. It's kind of similar to the Wayne Goss. I'm not even implying that it's as good of quality at all. I'm not implying that. But when I tried to find his brush, his is a little bit more angled, and Crown does make one like this. But with foundation, you want something very, very dense. Do you see how dense that is? It's really packed in there tight. And this is like a nice dome shape. And this is Crown brush number C502. And so today, after I put on my sunscreen and I did like a tinted moisturizer, I took a little bit of a cream, a French cream foundation I get from France, and I literally buff it, okay? And you're buffing, 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 buffing. I think this brush was about $12 or $15. That's it. Now, It Cosmetics also makes one. It's a dome shape, and it's lovely, and I don't know the number. Does it say? No. Wait, maybe it does. The problem is they put silver on silver. This is number 101. 101. And again, it's really dense. It's a dome, and you can buff it all over. And that's what you want for foundation, because on mature skin, we don't want a lot of foundation sitting on top of our face. So I really love dome brushes, densely packed for that. So the It Cosmetics, this might be about $35, $30, $35. I don't know. I probably got it on sale on QVC, or it came with a kit. And then the Crown, which is probably about $12 or $15, and that's C502, okay? That's for foundation. Now, let's talk concealer. I do have a concealer brush that I am crazy about, like cuckoo crazy. And I will show you what I use. This is the concealer brush I use on 100% of the people in my chair when I do makeup professionally. And it is this little brush. Now, what's great about it is, it's the foundation and concealer in one. So see, this is almost like their 101. It's a little bit smaller, but it's a dome and it's densely packed. So again, you could put on your foundation and buff it, buff it, buff it. If you like to use a brush, not everyone likes to use a brush, but this is the best concealer brush I have ever used in my life, because it's a little packed dome shape, okay? And because it can get in, it can pat into those little nooks and crannies we get under our eye as we get older. I found that with like a flat concealer brush, like your typical synthetic flat, I find that that will skip over. It kind of pulls the eye or the skin and kind of skips over the nook and crannies. And then you'll see areas where the concealer's laying in areas where you have bare skin. So I ditched these flat ones. I might use these more in like around the nose or blemishes, or I use those more on men. But I love this for really kind of pressing the concealer in. Now, what type of concealer would you use with this? This would be more for like a cream, anything that comes with like a doe foot, you know, anything like this, anything like if you watched my concealer video, and I'm doing another concealer video very, very soon because I have some new favorites. But anything like the Tarte Creaseless, which is very sticky. It's very sticky, and I don't see it at the moment, but you would put it on with this, kind of spackle it in, you know, kind of press it, and then take your ring finger and really, you know, kind of press it in and warm it up. Or I love a mini beauty blender. Look at the difference. That's a normal beauty blender. This is a little mini one. I love the minis for kind of patting it in there. Love these. Love these. Amazon. Okay. So this is brush number 7. Brush number 7, and that can be your foundation and your concealer in one. Best concealer brush I've ever used. Now, let's talk face powder. Typically what we've done in the past, what we've always been taught is you take, I don't even know why this brush is in here. I'd never use it. I think I'm going to put it in my pro kit, but this is also a crown brush. See how big this is? So see if you took like loose powder and went all over the face. Do you see how big it is? When you are mature skin, and especially if you're normal to dry or dry, you want to be very strategic where you put your powder. Very strategic. So let's talk about that. If you are younger, if you have oily or normal to oily skin, you might want a big brush to buff your powder all over. I have not used a big powder brush on my own face in a decade, but I do like it on people in my chair. So I'm gonna move that over to my pro kit right now. I love this little e.l.f. brush. Cheap, cheap, cheap. This is probably $4. It's called the Blending Eye Brush, but I do not use it for eyeshadow. I like that it's similar to the It, but I would not use this for concealer. I love it for powder because you can get right in there and just put a little bit of tiny little bit of powder right where you crease, and that's it. So I only use this for around the eye with the tiniest amount of powder. What I love for my face, and I just found this on Crown and I'm crazy about this, it's C501. It's long and it's real flexible and it's so soft, and I'll go just in my T-zone. I might do my eye after I do my eye primer, but do you see how strategic I am? Just where I have pores. I don't want it anywhere else. I don't really need it too much up on my forehead. This brush might, I don't even remember. This brush might be $9, $10, $8. I don't remember the prices. These are cheap. I love Crown brushes. They're really affordable, but they hold up well. You'll have them for a long, long time. Not a lot of people, not a lot of the general public knows about Crown. Crown are excellent brushes. Really, really good quality. Okay, so let's go on to blush. And I'm going to do some blush right now and show you. For blush, I love something that is kind of at a slant and fluffy. That's just my personal blush that I love. Look at all these brushes. I never use any of these. I need to just put them in my pro kit right now. I love this type of a brush for blush, and you can see it has a blushy color on it. If I am using a cream brush, I like something flat. This is a brush by Ecco Tools. You can find it at probably Ulta, maybe Walgreens. It doesn't even matter who the brand is. Look for something that's kind of flat. It looks like a men's shaving brush. I love it for picking up a little bit of cream blush and kind of going like in little circular motions. Sometimes it works best than fingers. Fingers are great. You know, I love skin on skin, but sometimes that it can be a little blotchy if you're not careful. And especially with mature skin, we don't have that tight skin. So our skin kind of moves with the fingers. So I find this is nice to kind of buff it on. This is a great cream blush. I use this for all my Milani cream blushes. But I'm going to use this right now because I really love how it works. So I'm going to take a little blush. This is by Mob Beauty. And I've already lightly powdered my face. You know what? I really need a mirror. Let's not pretend I don't need a mirror. I like to start in the apple and then kind of work up to the temple. But it just puts it on so softly. This is MAC, and I think this is 129. Let me see. You can tell, I use these in my kit. I have like 6 of them that I use for powder. Oh gosh, what number is this? Yeah, all the numbers have worn off. I'm sorry, everybody. All the numbers have worn off. Yep, every single one, the number has worn off. It might be 123. I don't know. But you know what? All you have to do is go to MAC Cosmetics and look for their white angled brush. I know they still have them because I've seen them. Or you can go on Crown and see if Crown has something small and fluffy and angled. It's not super small though. Let me show you the difference. Like here's the foundation brush. Here's the foundation brush. So, you know, they're all kind of similar in size. It's just you want something a little fluffier for blush. Oops, drop my powder brush. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more. And remember, for mature gals, we really do kind of want it higher up because if we do our blush higher, it kind of lifts the face. I just always go in on my apples because I've done that my whole life. I mean, I have apple cheeks. But do you see how I've put it like up here and I go into the temple? But I do like it on the apple too. Okay? Super fluffy. I've had these brushes for a million years. It's my favorite blush brush. I love it. Okay? And a little on the nose. Boom. We did it. Let me show you bronzer. Bronzer, I like something big and fluffy because remember, ladies, bronzer is meant to give you that sun-kissed look. And if you are mature, you do not want a very contoured face. So if you have a rounder face like me and you want to sculpt your cheeks a little bit, but I really do, I want to stay round. The older we get, we lose volume, we lose collagen. So why do we want to hollow out our cheeks to look sculpted? No, we want to look soft. So I really don't contour myself. I might contour someone in my chair if they are under 40 and they have a fuller face. I might contour. Otherwise, most people do not get contour. It's not flattering. We're watching all these young people on social media do all these sculpting all over they're young. It's okay. They can do it. They're young. They're not going to be doing it in 10, 20 years. I promise you that. So I'm going to take a little bit of bronzer, and I usually like bronzer in the temples, up at the forehead. Remember, you're going to do bronzer anywhere the sun would hit you. Okay. But see how already that kind of nicely sculpts my face, but in such a soft way and just gives you a nice warmth. I love this brush for bronzer. It's, you know, I'm sure you can find a huge fluffy brush on Crown, but this is again, It Cosmetics, and this is brush number 4. And it's really fluffy and soft, but it's at a slight angle, and I just love it. But again, I know Crown would have tons of brushes. And if you go, when you go to Crown, if you go to their go to the Pro brushes, I think it's their top of the line. They have Pro and then they have Studio. You want the Pro brushes because to me, they're the best quality and they're really affordable. Trust me, they're very affordable. And then I might take a little bit of bronzer just under here. kind of like, you know, sculpt out the jawline a little bit because of the jowls, you know, just there you go. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so those are the brushes, and I hope you screenshotted everything, and I will label everything in the video. So that's for face. That concludes face. Let me see, did I get everything? I got foundation, concealer, powder around the eye, bronzer, blush, highlighter. If you're gonna use a highlighter, okay, and I already have some highlight on today, so I don't wanna go too crazy. I love a fan brush. I don't know who this is from, but Crown makes fan brushes, e.l.f. makes fan brushes. You notice it's kind of on the fluffier side. Now, I love a fan brush for dusting any eyeshadow fallout, but I would not use this fan brush. Do you see how you can almost see through it? It's really thin and wispy. It's great for dusting away eyeshadow that falls. That's not for highlighting. Highlighting, you want something a little bit thicker and firmer, just a little bit, but still soft. And I'm gonna take the tiniest amount of highlight. This is a Mob Beauty. And I like to go down the nose and take a little bit more. And I like to go kind of on top of the apple of my cheek. I'll kind of hit the brow bone a little bit. And then look at, oh my gosh, that is the prettiest highlighter I've ever used. I just love it. Not pretty. So fan brush, they're really cheap. All fan brushes I've seen are pretty much under 10 bucks. I've even seen them from Morphe. Okay, I'm gonna come back just for people who wanna jump to a different time code if they're just here for eye brushes. Okay. I'll be back. I have a primer on my eyes that I just put on with a finger. I use the e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer, but to make things easy today, this shimmer highlight that I just put on my cheeks, I'm going to put it on my eyes just using my finger because let's be fast. Let's be fast and easy, ladies, shall we? See? Not great. Fast and easy. Okay. We are gonna take a Morphe brush. I absolutely love this brush so much. I think it's like $5. It might be $8. I can't remember. It's M433 Morphe. I'm not a huge fan of cheap brushes, but for some reason I love this. So I'm gonna take this kind of medium color and I'm gonna go in my crease. So I love a fluffy brush as we get older to apply shadow because I feel like it gets into the nook and crannies. Again, with something flat, like when I was younger, I loved a flat brush to really pack on a base shadow, but when I use this now with a base shadow, it looks very textury. So I don't like flat and packed for older skin. It just shows too much texture. By putting something on that has a little bit more fluff, it kind of puts it on really softly without looking like a lot of texture on the eyes. I think that's real important that we know that over 40. And I like this fluffy brush because it can go up into the brow bone area. Even hooded eyes can go up into their little hooded brow bone area. I'm in between a hood. I used to have an eyelid, and the older I get, my brow bone's falling into my eye line or my lash line. So I'm technically there with you. I'm kind of a hooded eye. And then I like to do, I love this little brush. Now I'm gonna be honest, I have not washed it yet. I heard this brush is a mess after you wash it. I don't know, but gosh, it was cheap. Cheap. It's a Morphe brush. It does not have a number, but look at how teeny tiny it is compared to a typical blending brush, okay? I love this little guy. He's been my new favorite lately. But normally what I would do is I would take a little bullet brush, okay? I would take a little bullet brush and I would blend in my crease. Okay, Real Techniques makes a nice little brush too that's kind of like, I don't know, maybe not, that's too much maybe. But okay, here's another one by NARS. This is a NARS, they're called bullet brushes or pencil brushes, is that they go to a point and they're great for in that outer corner. But I'm going to do kind of this brown right here, and I'm going to use this tiny little Morphe brush, just kind of put it right there in the outer corner. This is kind of for an everyday look. If I wanted to take this into nighttime, I would just go a little heavier. But look at that. See how we have like a little backwards C going on right there? And then I'm gonna do it on this side. You see that? And I love this little Morphe brush because I feel like it just fits right there in my crease. Now, if you don't have a crease, you're gonna put it where you would see a crease if you were to open your eye a little bit higher. I did a whole video on hooded eyes. You can go to a hooded eye video. Okay, see that? Then we're gonna take this brush again, this little Morphe fluffy brush, and we still have some shadow on it. And we're gonna go back in. See how I'm kind of going into the eye? I'm not going out. You can go out too if you want, but when you go out, lift it up. You don't want to drag it down because you want your shadows to kind of fall between the corner of the eye and the eyebrow. You want to keep the shadows lifted. Okay, and now we're gonna go into this and blend it a little bit. I'm kind of going into the eye, see that? These are not expensive brushes and they're easy to use. They really do all the blending for you. Of course, good shadows help. I love Mob Beauty shadows. I love my Beauty Counter shadows, but I don't think we sell them because I think we reformulated them. But what's great about the Mob Beauty is you can customize your own palette, and it doesn't have to be a big palette like this. You could do a smaller palette. So see how that's just like a good everyday eyeshadow? I like it. Now, if you wanted to do a little bit of liner under the eye, you could do a angled brush. This is also MAC. And you could take the tiniest bit and go just in the outer corner and kind of, you don't have to. This is just for women who like a little bit of eyeliner. I find when women are in my chair, 90% of the time, mature women want just a little bit of eyeliner to complete the eye. And I mean, I think it just makes your eyes look bigger. It looks pretty. So I just put it on, but any angled brush will do. I love the MAC brushes, and all these brushes that I'm mentioning today, they're all cruelty-free. Everything's cruelty-free. Most of it's synthetic. And if it is animal hair, and I don't think MAC is anymore, I think MAC switched to synthetic, but what they did is they would give the animal a haircut. They don't harm animals in their brush selection. These are great too for going in the outer corner. Little pencil brush. This is MAC number 143, 145. Let's see. It's hard when all the, I don't know, 143 maybe. But they changed their number system around a lot, so it might not even be 143, but it's a pencil brush, and everyone makes a pencil brush, and you can really get that nice depth in that outer corner, and it just kind of lifts the eyes without bringing a lot of dark in here because we want this to be light and open, okay? So then I go in with another pencil brush, or something small, like a little concealer brush. just make sure it's not a pencil brush that you've been using dark shadow on. So you could do a pencil brush in a light color, and that way you'll always remember, oh, dark is for dark shadow, light is for light shadow. But today I'm just going to use this little teeny tiny Laura Mercier concealer brush because I love to take this frosty color here and I like to go into the inner eye. That's why you need a pencil brush or something kind of pointy to go into that inner eye. It really lightens that inner eye and kind of opens up that whole eye. Gives it a little bit more of a youthful look. If you're using the proper shadow, it should look really luminous and not super frosty. We're not going for disco, we're going for luminous skin. Not pretty? I love that. And sometimes with a little bit extra on the brush, I don't re-dip back into the shadow, but I might even go right up there in that top peak of my brow bone. Okay? I will be back. I am going to do some eyeliner, and then what you can do is you can use the pencil brush to smoke over the eyeliner if you don't like a harsh line. But I'm gonna do a liner and lashes and be right back. I have the eyes on, and you can see just kind of how blended that looks and how easy that was. For those of you who like to use a lip brush, I'm gonna be honest, I always use lip brushes on anyone who's in my chair. What's nice about a lip brush is as we get older, let's be honest, ladies, we've got the little nooks and crannies in our lips, even if they're hydrated. We just don't have those plump, full lips as we get older. So a lip brush is gonna press that color into the lip. It's gonna get into the nooks and crannies, and it's not going to put on too much lipstick, too thick, because the thicker it is, it's just gonna transfer to everything. Women always say, help, I need something that's long wearing. I personally can't stand long-lasting lipsticks. They're very, very drying and they're not pretty on an older lip. I understand if we're wearing masks or if you're, you know, in a work environment where you can't be touching up all the time. I understand why people are drawn to long-lasting lipsticks, but they're not pretty. They're just not. They're not youthful. They're not pretty. But if you take a lip brush, and I think this lip brush was $3 on Crown. It's called an oval sable. It's either the oval sable brush or the oval lip brush. I don't know, but it's kind of thicker. If you get in there and really press that color, and they have also retractable lip brushes for your purse, but that's gonna stay on much longer than if I just did this. We really pressed it into the lip, and I think that's so pretty, and I love a nice lip brush. I will tell you, this lip brush here, this is gorgeous. It's my favorite lip brush I've ever owned. I've owned it since 2004. It's by Shu Uemura. It was $70. $70 for one lip brush because it is red sable. It is a beautiful Kolinsky red sable from Russia. Shu Uemura is a Japanese makeup artist. He did Elizabeth Taylor's makeup. I splurged and bought this when I was a new makeup artist. And look, I still have it in 2021. Yeah, it's a long time. So if you invest in good brushes, they will be around a long, long time. This brush here, this MAC number 7 made in France. Now MAC hasn't made brushes in France since the 90s when Frank Toscan owned MAC. He sold it to Estee Lauder. I have had this. This is also a beautiful sable. This was a lot of money back in 1993. In 1993, I bought this. It was $30 for this brush in 1993, and I was a brand new makeup artist, and that was a lot of money, but I still have it in 2021, and it's in pristine condition. The more you spend on a brush of quality that's real animal hair and you take good care of it, shampooing it, you'll have it forever, as long as you don't lose it, okay? But these cheaper brushes that I've mentioned today are great too. This is also a brush I bought the same day, MAC number 36, also made in France. It is squirrel hair. And in the 90s, when we wanted that really beautiful blended crease, this is one of the two most popular brushes at MAC was this, and then our little angled brush for brows and eyeliner. This little angled brush by MAC, and this squirrel crease brush. This was $36. This was so expensive to me back in 1993. But look, I still have it because it's a quality brush, and I still have the Shoot Uemura $70 lip brush. And this is a nice brush I use for younger women when I want to powder under their eye. It's a little bit thick for my under eye, but for younger women, I love this. And this is a beautiful squirrel hair. This is a Japanese company, and their name has worn off, but I bought this. Japanese brushes are beautiful, and Wayne Goss's brushes are by a Japanese company. So Japanese brushes are superb quality. So if you want to splurge, I highly recommend checking, just Google Japanese makeup brushes, and a couple companies will come up and you'll see it. But if you want to just start out, or if you just want to maybe splurge on concealer, and splurge on a few others, and then keep the rest real simple, like Crown and Morphe. They're not terribly inferior. I'm telling you, I have been using this Morphe brush for $8 forever. I have been using this beautiful Crown. I love this. What's this one called? Pro Feather Powder. Oh my gosh, the one thing I wanted to show you. How can I forget real quick? Charlotte Tilbury makes a powder or blush brush that is like almost like a teardrop shape, okay? It comes to a point, so it's great for powder. You can powder in areas, you know, where you need to get a point in there, but you can also use it for blush. I keep these in my Pro Kit. I don't use this on myself. I don't know why. I love it. I love it. But this is C531. This is a total dupe to Charlotte Tilbury. This is by Crown Brush. I use these in my Pro Kit. I have 3 of them. I love, love, love them for blush or even for powder on men or women. Not mature. This is for a younger woman for powder. But this is a beautiful blush brush, and Charlotte Tilbury's brush is probably $48, and this is $10, $11. It's incredible. I love it. Anyway, I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. It's because of you that I'm doing this video, so I do listen to what you want. I do listen to what the majority of the women are asking for. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to answer questions. Enjoy brushes. They are so much fun. If you go to my TikTok or Instagram, I do a whole video on how to wash makeup brushes. But real quick, you're gonna take like a little bit of water with some hair shampoo and swish it around, run it under the faucet, squeeze it out, lay it flat to dry. The makeup artists out there who are telling you to use Dawn dishwashing liquid, I would never use Dawn dishwashing liquid on my brushes, never. But they seem to love it. I think if you're using a brush, maybe like concealer or foundation, and it has a lot of creamy product built up in it, I could see how Dawn would be good because Dawn gets the grease out, so I could see how it would be good for that. I just don't want to use something that's meant to take grease off dishes. I've always been taught since 1992, whatever you use on your own hair, you would use on your brushes. Not baby shampoo, which can be very stripping, not dandruff shampoo, but you know, a moisturizing, nice moisturizing shampoo. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be Pantene, but make sure it is a moisturizing shampoo. You want sudsy warm water. You want to swish it around, run it under the faucet, squeeze it out, lay it on a towel to dry. Do your eye brushes twice a month, maybe every other week. And your bigger face brushes, you could probably get away with once a month because you're not really changing colors. You're kind of using the same color all the time. Or you could do it every other week as well. Lay it on a towel to dry. They're dry in the morning. You can put them right back into their little container or the little brush roll you keep them in, and you will have your brushes for many, many, many years. I hope that helps. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.